Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Mind Space. Mind Space is a game published by Allplay, designed by, which is a name I'm going to mispronounce, I apologize, Nao Shimomura. Plays 1 to 5 players, 30 minutes, ages 8 plus, 11 plus. I think that's what it says, 11 plus. Yes, 11 plus. So effectively what you're doing in this game is you're trying to connect different areas of your brains using emotions to fulfill these goals, like maybe security for financial security or empathy or something like that. But effectively, what that boils down to is a roll and write game. You're going to have 5 colors of dice, and you're going to have 6 different cards out. You're going to roll those dice based on the number that you roll. So if a 1 would go to the first card, 6 would go to the last card. That's going to determine the shape and the color, because every die has color, that you're going to be able to draw into your brain. Each color and shape are going to do different things. For scoring purposes, and you're trying to fulfill those some goals while you're doing that. So lots of stuff going on, but ultimately rolling dice, drawing some shapes, trying to do the best you can to score some points. So if you want to see how that works, you can click the link in the video description, and I'll play through a few rounds of a solo game. If you don't care about that, stick around here. We'll take a look at the components. Alright, so here are the components for Mind Space. First off, look at that box. That box is really cool. This is an all-play game. They put all their games in these like little boxes with really funky art. I love the funky art here. So there you go. Now, let's get to the crux of the components. The components have a lot of cards. They're going to have turn order cards, which, they're not like linen finish, but they just sit there. They're going to tell you some reminders and the turn order. There's a whole bunch of different shape cards. You can see them there. Different color markers. There are 5 different colors and black, so 6 total colors. They may run out, so I'm not 100% sure how well that will go. If they run out, it might be difficult to find more. There's 5 dice here. You can see those there. There's a whole pile of these goal cards. They all have like a thematic tie-in to something in your brain. So you can kind of see, like, we have empathy, we have therapy, and we have a life of peace. There's also like security, where you're trying to collect money. For this being a roll and write is very thematic. We'll get into that more in the final thoughts, but it definitely does not skimp on theme. Now, the player boards are really cool. You can see this is the one I use in the game. This is the A side. There's 2 sides. It's easy to kind of see the areas on this one and the colors. This side, the areas get a little bit funkier. You can see the weird outlines. It's not just all squares. It's a lot different. It's a harder side. For my money, this side is just fine. It's easier to read. And then the scorecard is pretty easy to read as well. You just, all the scoring's on there. If you're confused, on the back, it breaks it down a little bit more on what everything does, which is fantastic. The only issue I wished it was on the board, but it's on the reminder card, is what the coins do. But it's right there, so you can always see it. It's not a big deal. But I wish it was kind of on there. It is on there, but I don't know. That symbology is a little bit vague. I wish it was a little bit more, but that's a minor quibble. The rule book is standard, all play fair. It's 2 pages. So if there is some ambiguity, you're not going to find it in the rule book. But overall, I like the components. It's just a roll and write, so you don't need a lot. But I like that it has different color markers. That's fun. So those are the components for Mind Space. Let's talk about what we think about the game. Alright, so if you've watched our channel at all, you know that we are huge fans of these small box all-play games. We have a ton. I don't know how many you can see in the video frame, but over my shoulder here, there's a couple of them. They're usually like interesting little card games, dice games in these little tiny packages. Most of the time trick-taking, some roll and write. There's even like a Wordle type game, which I don't really love, but I'm just showing all the ways that they're being creative with these little boxes. And we were at Origins in 2024, and we demoed a pile of them. And this was one that we demoed. But for some reason, we didn't buy this one. We bought a bunch of other ones, but we didn't buy this one. We were buying trick-taking games, apparently. last year. So then we were out just hanging out for our anniversary, and we went to a game store, and we picked this one up, finally. And I gotta say, I love this game. I love everything about it. It's a simple roll and write. Honestly, it's just you're drawing shapes and a brain. But the way that the die colors go with the shapes and how each shape scores differently really is, for lack of a less punny term, a brain burner. You always want to draw a shape that the color is not associated with. You always need 3 more turns. You're never able to do exactly what you want to do, and I think that is a sign of a good game. And this gives you tons of choices, tons of options, tons of fun in a small box package. Easy to teach, normal all-play 2-page rule book. And it's just a lot of fun. Enough replayability, because I think there's like 6 of each of the gold cards. So when you're mixing those around, you're probably not going to play the same game that much. Eventually you will. There's only 6, so you can't get too carried away. But lots of different variety, lots of ways to score, lots of things to do to try to just get as best points as you can. I don't really have much negative to say about this, other than the thing that I complain about most of the time when there's different colored markers in a roll and write game is what happens when the markers run out. I don't know if it's going to be a problem. I don't know if they're going to run out. I mean, I'd assume they run out, but I don't know that for sure. You'll probably have to buy some more, because you can't use all black, because colors are important for placement of the shapes and scoring. So just keep that in mind if you get this game. Gameplay may be limited based on how long the markers last. Okay, so not a deal breaker by any means. It's not even going to affect my score at all, but I wanted to point it out because it could be an issue. So I'm actually going to give this a BGM Accept the Seal. It's going to get an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that is what I'm going to do. So that is Mindspace. I'm going to show this. Oh, nope. So that is Mindspace. I should edit that out, but I'm not going to. From All Play, I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.